Greetings and salutations. Yesterday's inauguration, I have my thoughts. And I really didn't think that it was going to affect me this much, but it really kind of has. Let's start with President Obama walking in. Let's start with that. Now, considering the way the audience booed when he walked in, it is only matched by the level of confidence that he continued to display as he walked on through. It is only matched by his indifference because, again, every time they came for him during the 8 years he was in there, he didn't even address you fools. Whether you like his politics or not, you can't besmirch the fact that the man has charisma, swag, intelligence, competence. So for those of you who have zero decorum, kick rocks. Now, one of the things that I have, okay, let me go this part. Now, the part that did sadden me, that I did not expect it to sadden me, was when former First Lady Michelle Obama did not accompany her husband. I had been hearing about it, and really I didn't think too much about it one way or the other. I'm like, well, I kind of understand where she's coming from. But it wasn't until I watched him walk in there by himself, when all the other living past presidents were there with their spouses, that it hit home for me. It was only then that it hit home for me because, again, at that point, it became much bigger, in my opinion, than President Trump. It became about supporting and honoring your husband, duty. It became more about honoring the position that you once held. And I'm going to say this, I have no ill statements to say about either of them. Again, whether you liked his politics or not, I think that they were a stalwart example of what a White House couple should be. No scandals, no ridiculousness, because believe me, I'm sure they tried to find some. But it's about honoring the position. When I was on active duty in the late 90s, I was an Army officer, and I think at the time, I can't remember if George I or George II was in the office. I can't remember. Maybe it was George II. And my mom called me, and she was going off about something, about President Bush, whichever one it was. And I mean, she was going off. And I'm in the privacy of my own home. I said, Mom, I can't talk to you about that. I can't talk to you about the president. He is the commander-in-chief. He's my boss. Whether I voted for him or not, he's my boss. I cannot engage in this conversation with you about my boss. It's about honoring the position, whether I liked him or not. And if we're going to keep it 1,000, it was not until President Obama was in office that I vividly saw firsthand the level of disrespect lobbed at a sitting president from men and women in the uniform who did not take the stance that I took. Regardless of whether I voted for you or not, you're still my boss. I saw blatant and overt disrespect to the President of the United States. But again, that's on another tangent. So with respect to that, I'm saddened by it. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to bother me. It didn't hit home until I saw him walk out by himself. And again, I'm relatively a newlywed compared to how long they've been together. But as a wife, I know it is my duty to support my husband, even if there's some particular things I don't agree with. And it's kind of like in the military. When your commanding officer makes a decision, whether or not you agree with it, you stand by him and you move out smartly because you represent the organization. And that organization is the organization of Mr. and Mrs. Barack Obama. It is the duty of the past president. And again, not to say that she hasn't supported him in every which way possible, but again, when you see it play out in front of everybody the way that it did, it hits different. It hits different. So I'm not going to get into the speculation what people are saying about their relationship. I pray that it is not true. I really hold them in very high esteem. But just looking at that particular aspect, it made me sad. It really did. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.